What's up, guys? Another video of Today in MMA. This is your host, Andrew, and I want to talk about Ciryl Gane. And what brought about this topic was basically someone mentioned Jon Jones and Ciryl Gane, and they said that Jon Jones would have been able to pick apart Ciryl Gane on the feet, even if he didn't take him down. And I just was like confused because obviously Jon Jones is great. That's not the question we were asking. We were asking basically if his striking's good as Ciryl Gane's. And in my opinion, I think Ciryl Gane is the best heavyweight striker of all time. But before we establish that, let's just mention some other heavyweights that have taken this title. First, starting with one of my favorite fighters, Cro Cop, one of the more accomplished kickboxers that entered MMA and did very good, I'd say. And then we got maybe Mark Hunt, another K1 champion. Well, not another. Cro Cop never won a K1 championship, but he has beaten some K1 champions. So, I still think he's one of the best strikers of all time, and in MMA, of course. And then we're talking about Mark Hunt, who actually did win a K1 event, but the competition wasn't as great, I'd say. But Mark Hunt's a beast. He did pretty good in the UFC in the late of his career, but in his prime, he was definitely messing up people. He definitely has, the KO power and the striking to definitely be on or be considered one of the best strikers. And then don't forget about, Alistair Overeem, who's probably the most credentialed out of all the heavyweights that I'm going to mention, just because he won K1. He actually beat an old Peter Ertz, if I'm not mistaken. He also beat Badahari, and if you guys don't know anything about kickboxing, they considered Badahari like the Mike Tyson of kickboxing at one point. Now he's kind of getting knocked out left and right, but at one point he was a beast, and during that time he was a beast, Overeem knocked him out. Can you believe it? So there's definitely that, and you gotta mention, I guess, Fabricio Verdum as well. Not Fabricio. What am I? Fabricio? He did knock out Mark Hunt, but that's because the threat of a takedown, What I meant to say was Junior Dos Santos. He was a beast as well, mainly striking based, besides sometimes kicking and wheel kicking Mark Hunt in the face. And then you got Alexander Volkov. I wouldn't necessarily say Derek Lewis, even though he has power and the most knockouts striking wise. He kind of gets, forgotten, because he doesn't have the best striking, he doesn't have the best technique, he just has power to compensate for that. And he definitely has knocked out some good strikers, don't get me wrong. He's knocked out, there's a lot of things. So Overeem lost to Travis Browne. Travis Browne was basically spamming front kicks and head kicks, and he eventually got through and cracked Overeem in the chin. And then we got Derek Lewis beating Travis Browne. And then you got Pat Barry's, and then you got your Anthony Hardongs. There's just so many heavyweights that I've named. You got a Rosenstrike as well, who lost to Francis Ngannou. And then Francis Ngannou couldn't even strike with Ciryl Gane. So there's just a lot of heavyweights that have been throughout time that you would consider good striking. Roy Nelson too, I guess. Just an overhand at the end of the day. But like I said in the beginning of this video, I think Ciryl Gane is the most elite heavyweight striker of all time. But I am, down to hear someone else's take on this. Do you think someone else is? I just feel like Ciryl Gane has the movement, he has the footwork, he has the ability to use any strike. He throws knees, he throws elbows, he throws punches. Some of these heavyweights that I mentioned, they only do good with a certain amount of strikes. They're not as versatile as a Ciryl Gane. Even Cro Cop, at the end of the day, he had a left straight, some good boxing, and just basic roundhouse kicks. He didn't really do anything. I think he threw an occasional axe kick or something, but other than that, I think Ciryl Gane is the most varied has the most varied striking in the heavyweight division, and I don't think there's a close second. But like I said, what started this whole conversation was someone saying that Jon Jones could beat Ciryl Gane just on standing. But let's be real, he took that guy down as soon as he can because he knew his only advantage was in the striking. And Jon Jones, albeit how much I hate him, he is a smart fighter, and he knows his strengths and weaknesses, right? So of course he would take down Ciryl Gane, because if he couldn't take down Ciryl Gane, he's in for a rough night. I just feel like Ciryl Gane, he switches from orthodox to southpaw and just gives so many looks. It's really crazy, the advanced striking that you see from him. You can just see from his latest video, or his latest fight against not Pavlich, I think it was another Russian dude who was on a streak as well, and he made him look like an amateur. And he made Tai Tuivasa look like an amateur. Albeit Tai kind of rocked him a little bit. I think he even actually dropped him, but after that he pissed him off and he just wrecked him. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below, do you think Ciryl Gane is the best heavyweight striker of all time? If he isn't to you, please let me know some other suggestions down below. Other than that, peace out.